Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to say, Kol Halayim La, Alahayan Nawu, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakak Wadash. Double honor to the elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone, who rule very well, very beautifully. Double salutations to the Hakim out here pushing this gospel and truth and its sincerity to the best of their ability, given to them by Yahweh Bashim Al Shai. The 144,000 elect men, the true prophets of the Lord Yahweh Bashim Al Shai, risking their safety day in and day out for this truth, battling the elements day in and day out for this truth. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the elect scattered abroad. May the election of Yahweh Bashim Al Shai, Lord, will live upon all your houses. This is Brother Abu Bayat coming back at you, Lord will, with an edifying lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Al Shai. Now, this lesson isn't going to be too long. I just want to bring out a couple articles, man, and then, I'll grab, a precept, and then we'll get out of here. Again, like I said, I don't want to make it too long. I'm just going to read these two articles, basically go into, the the buildup of what is to be World War III, man. It says right here, one U.S. submarine could fire 154 Tomahawk missiles at North Korea. And we know that America, North Korea, America and China, America and Russia, America and Iran, and many other nations, now America and France and multiple other European countries, they all have a problem, man, mainly with America. All these nations have a problem with America, man, It says right here, after reports of successful hypersonic missiles test by the United States and seemingly North Korea as well, people might have forgotten about the U.S.'s oldest yet respected guided missile-armed Ohio-class submarines. The Ohio-class submarines was assigned in the early 1980s, 18 built between 1981 and 1997. Now I'm like, it's not super long. There's a couple points I want to hit, so I'll just go ahead and hit them. I'm gonna read these first 4 paragraphs though. It says they were commissioned to substitute the aging 41 Fort Freedom class of submarines. They were designed as nuclear-powered ballistic missile submarines, and during the construction, they were the largest to have ever been built. So ultimately, America has had, some of the longest running nuclear power or nuclear blasting submarines, man. Nuclear ICBM, nuclear missile blasting submarines, man. And it says at the time they were the largest to be built. Now I don't know how how accurate that is as of today, but they are still some of the largest built, right? It says in the early 2000s, 4 of the SSGNs were transformed to guided missile submarines after the 1994 Nuclear Posture Review, which recommended that the U.S. only have to have 14 SSBN submarines to meet its strategic needs. So ultimately, what happened is, they, because of the review, because of the that deal, I can't remember the name of it, but the deal, ultimately that was amongst the nations, was to not have as many nuclear weapons, so a lot of nations were ultimately told to get rid of certain a certain amount of nuclear weapons, man, to pretty much keep everybody at bay, so that way one nation wouldn't become like a superpower, man, and that's basically what happened. I can't remember what that what that deal or what that act was called, but that's basically what happened. It says the Department of Defense since then permanently lowered the Ohio class submarine launched ballistic missiles capacity. The 24 submarine launched ballistic missiles were reduced to 20 to comply with the U.S. Russia strategic nuclear arms control limits, right there, the strategic nuclear arms control limits established by the new Strategic Arms Reduction Treaty. That's what it's called, New Strategic Arms Reduction Treaty. I've only heard that name like 2 or 3 times, maybe. You know what I mean? So obviously I wouldn't remember it like that. But yeah, that's basically what it's called, man. So drop it down. I just want to get this last where it says Ohio class submarine is one to beat. I want to get that second paragraph, and we'll hit the last 2 paragraphs, which kind of hit the point. It says these missiles are capable of striking targets with equal precision and range like the existing guided missiles, but these missiles have unbelievable speed. Such missiles are expected to speed to their targets at close to 5 times the speed of sound. Essentially, the speed of intercepting and countering missiles will be very tricky. So they're going to use these older, submarines that they have, as well as the new submarines, and reconstruct the new submarines to be able to handle the power like these older submarines are able to do, man. What they got a saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So these new ones, the older ones, hey, they're tailored to what they need done. Well, they have to tailor these new ones to kind of meet that same capacity, and then they're gonna fire off these missiles, man. And you see what it says about these missiles. These missiles are gonna hit their target, like it says, with equal precision and range, like the existing guided missiles, man. So it's gonna be, they're gonna be fast, they're gonna be precise, and it tells you the speed. It says 5 times the speed of sound, man. Sound travels fast, So how much faster than the speed of sound are these missiles gonna travel, man? It's gonna be unbelievably fast, man. So America, just like North Korea and a lot of other countries, are testing and being successful on their tests when they were, basically trying to gather data on how these nuclear missiles that they're ultimately constructing work, man. Now I just want to get the last two. It says other nations developing own submarine fleets. It says nations like Russia and China are also developing their own hypersonic missiles for their submarine fleets. It says Russia is currently testing its new 3M22 Zircon missile, which can travel at Mach 8. These missiles will possibly supply Russia's PR-855M whatever class submarines and possibly upgrade Oscar II class boats. And that's exactly, and it's a perfect segue into the next article that I have, and it's going right into Russia, man. The next two powers, which is Russia being that one of the next number one power, if not the number one power in the world, just before or right after America, man. We'll read down a little bit. It says we'll read the headline. It says Russia test fires new hypersonic missile from submarine. So, hey, a lot of these other nations, they tested their missiles just like America on land, and everything was good. Well, now they're testing your missiles at sea. It says right here, a prospective Russian hypersonic missile has been successfully tested and fired from a nuclear submarine for the first time, the military said Monday. The Russian Defense Ministry said that the submarine performed 2 launches of the Zircon cruise missile at mock targets in the Barents Sea. Now we know a cruise missile flies very low, very freaking fast, and it's almost impossible to detect on radar. That will be a cruise missile, right? It says its first test fired Zircon from the surface. It first test fired Zircon from the surface and then launched another missile from the submerged position in the White Sea. It says the launch marked Zircon's first launch from a submarine. It previously has not been repeatedly test fired from a Navy frigate, most recently in July. So I'm going to read that again. It says the launch marked Zircon's first launch from a submarine. It previously has been repeatedly test fired from a Navy frigate, most recently in July. It's like I got these fucking goddamn mosquitoes in my face. It says Russia President Vladimir Putin has said Zircon could be capable of flying at 9 times the speed of sound and have a range of 1,000 kilometers, which would be 620 miles. Putin has emphasized that its deployment will significantly boost Russian military capability. Officials said Zircon's tests are to be completed later this year, and it will be commissioned by the Russian Navy in 2022. Zircon is intended to arm Russian cruisers, frigates, and submarines. It is one of several types under development in Russia. So this is just one of the many different kinds of nuclear missiles that Russia has being built for its arsenal. says the Kremlin has made modernizing the country's arsenals a top priority amid the tension with the West that followed Russia's 2014 annexation of Ukraine's Crimea Peninsula. So ultimately all of this, man, is a buildup. These nations are test firing, their nuclear missiles, and hitting targets. This is all, again, this is a foreshadow of what's to come. They're testing right now, man. What do you do after you test something? You go to use it. Just like what do you do before you get in water, man? You dip your toe in there to test how cold the water is or how warm the water is, and then you go in, you jump in, man. You don't for those that swim or anything like that, hey, what do? You jump your whole body in there, man. So you go in full force, man. And that's what these damn nations are gonna do, man. Once they get done with their testing and they gather up all their data, of whatever they need to gather, hey, guess what, man? It's gonna be a full-fledged, all-out war, man. And this is what's coming, man. Hey, man, we gotta pay attention to what's going on, man. Because soon, when these nations start to gather over in the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, would be around the Middle East, hey, man, it's going to be bad, man, and that's going to be the time that we're going to see those missiles, those ICBM nuclear missiles shot over, over here, man, and it's going to decimate America, man. Again, that's going to be part of World War III. That's going to ultimately be that last, the last hurrah, man, the last prophecy that is to come true, man. The nations are ultimately going to gather. They're going to be fighting against each other. It's going to be a world war, and then the nations are going to fire their missiles over here, man, and at that same time that these missiles are coming, the Lord Yahweh Shem Shah is going to deliver his elect, and that's going to be it, man. That's going to be all she wrote for this world, man, But I just want to grab one scripture, man, because again, this is what's coming. This is Joel chapter 3, verse 9. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war. And that's what these nations are doing, man. They're preparing for war. There's Ecclesiastes 3:1, there's a season, a time, and a purpose to everything. These nations are not just preparing, or testing their missiles and ultimately bulking up their nuclear arsenal, for no reason, man. These nations are literally preparing for war, and that's good. That war that's coming is World War III, which the prophets have been saying, for years, man. Starting with the elder apostles, they've been saying it for over 3 decades, man. And then you got the elder bishops, the elders in the Akim. They're still out here pushing this word, man. Just like the elder apostles are still out here pushing this word, and we've been saying it for years, man. This war that's coming is going to be World War III, and it's going to be a nuclear war, man. And America is going to be, again, desolate, as it says in Jeremiah 50:13, to make the whole land wholly desolate. America is going to be the the main focus on where these missiles are going to be shot at, man. Joel 3:9, proclaim this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. And again, we're seeing all that, man. These nations are ultimately being stirred up, and getting ready for that war that is to come, So, hey, keep watch, man. Lord will, this can happen sooner than later, man. We want them to speed up that testing, man, because we want to get the fuck out of here, man. We want this sinful kingdom to be destroyed, So with that being said, I just want to make this real quick, man. I just want to hit those 2 articles, which obviously feed off of each other, and then get this precept, and that'll be it, man. So Lord will was edifying, Lord will was informative. Keep watching, keep the faith, keep pushing forward, man. So with that being said, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shem Shabbat Shem Kakadash. Again, double honors to the elder apostles, elder bishops of Great Millstone. I want to say Kwame Asherwella and above all, Shalom.